So today Jigsaw started learning how to stand hard tied for the first time. The way that I like to teach the hard tying is by using a patience pole, and this swivels around. Okay. So if he goes to pull back, it can pull back. It won't give, but it does have movement. So if he needs to go this way or that way or round and round, he can do that. And it won't cause a whole lot of trauma to his neck. And that is how he gets his very first lesson at hard tying. So new place to be tied up today. He is figuring out the patience pole. So now he gets to stand here while I give everybody fresh water. So when I start teaching a young horse to stand tight, I don't go straight to hard tying. That's a lot to ask of one brain at a time, and I always start with something like blocker clips where there's a bit of give to it, and they can feel the pressure, but if they panic, they can get a release. It helps them learn without feeling trapped right off the bat. But then there comes a point where they need to understand that pulling back isn't the answer, and that's where the patience pole comes in. And it's one of my favorite tools for the next step. A patience pole isn't just about tying a horse solid. It's designed to move and swivel around with them. So when they pull or shift around, they're not hitting that hard fixed pressure on their necks. It gives them just enough to keep them safe, but not enough for them to think that they can escape it. So instead of fighting, they have to start figuring it out. Like standing still is the easier option. It builds patience in a really practical, everyday way. They're learning to stand tied while life is happening all around them and not in a quiet, controlled bubble. Like this morning with Jigsaw, I had him tied to the patience pole right next to the mare's pen and the jennies and the baby donkeys. And there's a lot going on. I'm feeding, cleaning buckets, the chickens are carrying on, all like the normal farm chaos. So I stayed close enough that I can step in if I needed to, but I never had to. He handled it really well. There was no big reactions, no panicking. He really settled in and had a great first lesson in standing tied. And that's the goal. Not just a horse that's tied, but a horse that understands how to be still, think through any type of pressure, and just trust the situation that they're in. Good boy. There we go. You're getting there. You're starting to get there. You did so well. I'm so proud of you today. I am very proud of you today. Yeah, good boy. He's a good boy. And he did really well. So I don't leave him out here alone where I'm not with him. I go and stay within eyesight the entire time while, I clean water troughs and throw hay to the other ones, do, little random yard work while, he sits and he stands. So he started in his paddock tied with a blocker clip to a pole, and then he moved right outside of his paddock to a blocker clip. Then he started practicing being tied up to the horse trailer to a blocker clip, and then this morning he had his very first experience at hard tying by being on the patience pole. So he did that very, very well. So now I'm going to go put him up and let him play with his buddies.